Hello, my name is METİN Arıdaşır. This is 336th part of explanation of my theory. Yes, Arıdaşır's my new faster than light quantized light speed theory, wave number multiplied by speed of light. A light effect initiated at the A end of a 300,000 kilometer tunnel is felt at the B end 1 second later. This doesn't mean that a single particle travels between A and B at 300,000 kilometers per second. If there is, the movement of the photon between A and B has not been observed to date. No one knows the mechanism. Yes. According to my electron motion form light source model, as an intrinsic, perpetual, according to my electron motion form light source model, as an intrinsic perpetual cyclical angular motion form of meta sensation perception matter, a free electron motion form produces and propagates consecutive intertwined okay? Interconnected and interacted ring-shaped spherical cyclical angular motion forms. Say waves. Wave definition, my definition is that I defined a photon as an inseparable point on electron motion form. Intertwined ring-shaped waves, spherical, but at this every point on electron motion form surface or its waves, I defined a photon, inseparable point. This is one point. Photon, photon, photon, photon, photon. Yes, photon, photon. Yeah, photon, a point. Inseparable point. As I told you before, it has mass, and Planck's constant is angular momentum of photon, as I told you before, according to my theory and my formulas. I defined a photon as an inseparable point on electron motion form and on its waves. So, a photon's motion is an angular motion. Light travels in the form of completed angular motion cycles, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And an electron motion form is autotroph motion system in meta-sensation perception matter, and in meta-sensation perception matter there is no friction. Okay. Light travels in the form of completed angular motion cycles that expand and add to each other. Each wave has tangential speed. This is so important. This is so important. Each wave has tangential speed. First wave, n equal 1, which is 1,884,000 km per second, 2 pi c. But go back again, unified first motion, arrow, speed, and adding speed, 2 multiplied by tangential speed, 3 multiplied by tangential speed, 4 multiplied by tangential speed. Each sphere's cycle tangential speed can formulate it like this. Tangential speed n is n wave number multiplied by 2 pi c. Okay, this is my formula, Arıdaşır's formula. Don't forget this. And there is no friction. Yes, this is so important. I remind you. Speed of light is not the linear speed. In fact, speed of light is effective speed. We can assume each cycle's photon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We can assume each cycle's photon as one of repetitive points as pace. Okay. This is so important. We can assume each cycle's photon as one of repetitive points as paces in a line. For instance, if lambda, initial wavelength of an electron, is 3 nanometer, okay, the first wave, be careful please, the first wave covers a distance of lambda 3 nanometer at speed c, light speed, because n is equal 1. Okay, this is light speed. Wait a moment, please. C. Okay, then I hope you see the second wave. Then go back and greater wavelength. Okay, in fact, yes, each one lambda, but second one between these 3 lambda. Yes, the second wave covers a distance of 3 lambda, 6 nanometer, at a speed 2c, 2 multiplied by speed of light, twice is equal to 2 lambda divided by period. Then the third wave, second wave come in, and third wave occur, greater tangential speed and greater effective speed of light. Okay. The third wave covers a distance of 3 lambda 9 nanometer, like this. Okay. In fact, 3 lambda. Third wave's wavelength, in fact, 3 lambda, 9 nanometer, then can occur and cover the distance, 3 lambda distance in the same period, but at cover the distance of 6 nanometer, 3 lambda, okay, at a speed, what? Three multiplied by c, okay, and so on and so forth. The last wave covers a distance of, this is observer, this is source. Between source and observers, d is equals to n multiplied by lambda, okay, wave number multiplied by lambda. And last wave, last photon, covers a distance of n lambda in the same period, and at a speed, what? N c n lambda divided by t, the speed. So, last photon that reaches you in the same small period, and this last wave transfer you last events information. This formula that I put forth and this mechanism concerned with astronomy and distances, okay, and other deep subjects. Yes. Even if it is assumed that the path between light source and observer was covered by a single photon at the speed of light, see, this is not the case. Can trillions of photons are lined up in each observer's direction by the time the last photon reaches them. Each photon is lined up in front of the previous one within a certain period and at a certain and equal distance. We say wavelength, but distance between waves. But main wavelengths of each wave or photon different. The first is lambda, second 2 lambda, third 3 lambda, etc. Yes, each photon is lined up in front of the previous one within a certain period and at a certain and equal distance. Each successive, consecutive, intertwined ring-shaped spherical wave is wider than the previous one. Wider than the previous. So important. Each consecutive, successive, intertwined ring-shaped spherical wave is wider than the previous one by initial unit wavelength. Lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, 6 lambda, 4 lambda, 5 lambda, 6, n lambda. However, the completed formation period